Tiffany Arielle here, and we are back with another video. So as I mentioned before, I'm kind of in this glow up before 30 type of mode, and so I'm really trying to address some of the things that have been bothering me for a while. So one of the things that I've been thinking about for a very long time is laser hair removal. Now, initially I was planning to just do it in my bikini area because shaving is just really not good for you. I don't say it's bad for you, but razor bumps come. I also do have a skin condition in my bikini area, which shaving does irritate it. But also because of that condition, there's some areas where my skin is a little bit thinner. And so waxing is kind of hit or miss, not necessarily recommended. And so it's just kind of a pain. So I've been shaving anyway and just trying to be like super careful when I shave, but I'm tired of it. I don't want to do it anymore. My dermatologist actually did recommend laser hair removal for, my bikini area. So that was one reason why I decided to do it. I also did get it on my chin and neck area because I do grow hairs kind of on my chin here and on my neck right here. So I'm going to try to insert some pictures. It was really hard for me to take pictures. Trying to make the hair show up in pictures is difficult for some reason. I'm really not sure why. It's I can see them all in the mirror, but when I try to take a picture, they're hiding. But anyway, I will try to insert some pictures up above so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I kind of wanted to just come on here and talk about the process, how much it cost and everything like that, as well as my experience at my first appointment. So in terms of the process, like I said, I had been thinking about this for a while. And I'd actually looked into it a few months ago. I actually was about to make a consultation for an appointment at a different laser salon, but I was on Instagram and they always show you the ads, right? So one of the ads that I saw was for Ideal Image and they were advertising 70% off. So I was like, 70% off? That sounds great. I've been thinking about this for a while. This might be the time. So I got a call. Actually, I take it back. I filled out the form to say that I was interested. I got a call back the next day about scheduling a virtual consultation. So probably the next day after that, so it's probably Tuesday by this point, I had the phone consultation and I'm looking at my notes, FYI. And she gave me a kind of general overview of the process. And then she referred me to what I think they called a skin specialist, who they basically kind of look at the different areas and kind of confirm that the areas that you are asking for are actually the appropriate labeling. So for example, this neck part is not covered under chin. So if you want to do all of this, you have to do chin and upper front neck. So they kind of talk about those type of things. They talk about other things. For example, I mentioned the skin condition and she kind of mentioned that everybody in the spa is a medical professional. They're not just estheticians or nurses or nurse practitioners or whatever. She also immediately recognized that I was Black. She was also Black. And so she mentioned that they have the YAG laser, which is what you're supposed to use for darker skin. But I had already gone on YouTube at this point and I had seen other people who are darker than me who had gone to Ideal Image and they had a good experience. So I was feeling pretty comfortable about that aspect of it. Let's see. She said that the promo was going to expire, and so they always try to pressure you to sign up sooner, but she didn't say it was going to expire that day. She did kind of give me time to think about it when I told her I didn't want to sign up on the spot. Now, with that being said, this 70% off I do believe is definitely a gimmick, because I think I've still seen 70% off now, and this is a month after I initially saw the ad. Plus I've done some research, and also what she told me is that they almost always have discounts. It's almost never full price, but the normal discount might be 40 or 50% off. So it's 70% off is more 20% off. But anyway. Yeah. So in terms of price, I paid a total of $2,800. Now, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But that is I did bikini full, which the only difference between bikini full and Brazilian is that with the Brazilian, of course, they do kind of the butt area, but I didn't really feel the need to do that. So I did bikini full, which is everything, the sides, the front, the labia, everything like that. And then I did the chin and I did the upper front neck. And I also paid they have a lifetime membership option where if something happens, especially if you have hair that's hormonal, which mine is, Basically, they're saying that there's a possibility that it may come back over time if your hormones change, like let's say, for example, menopause, right? So if you have the lifetime membership, then you can go back and you can kind of pay a copay as opposed to paying for a full new package of sessions. So the package that I purchased, it does include a minimum of 9 sessions. They recommend you do at least 9, but she said it's more like time based. So you could do like maybe 12 or 13 sessions in that time, depending on how far apart your sessions are. They do have options for financing. So if you prefer to finance, you can do that. I did pay in full because I just didn't really want to have that extra monthly bill. So, in terms of my first appointment, so after I went through this whole process with the consultant and she sent me all the information, I, signed up and everything like that. So, what was supposed to happen, or what she told me was going to happen, is that somebody from my local facility would contact me to schedule. But nobody ever contacted me. So what I ended up doing was going through my email and finding the phone number, and then I just called them and scheduled the appointment myself. So once I called them, it wasn't that bad, but like I just felt like they shouldn't have told me somebody was going to contact me if nobody was going to contact me. Like if they would have told me to call from the beginning, then that would have been better, but whatever. Additionally, they do get booked up pretty far out, at least here where I am. So that's definitely something to consider. But they do allow you to book multiple appointments at a time. So it's kind of like it goes both ways. So it's like if you really want to have appointments on weekends or something like that, you definitely have to book them far in advance. You cannot just call them like a week or two ahead of time and be like, oh, I want to come on Saturday, because no. Okay, so when I arrived at my appointment, it's during COVID and everything like that. So you have to wear your mask, they take your temperature, blah, 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 blah. So I also had a video call with a nurse practitioner. So she, asked me some questions about if I've been using retinoids and like, those type of things. She mentioned the skin condition that I have in my bikini area. She asked me, did I have any outbreak currently? I told her no. She said that even if I did, then they would still be able to work around it and all that. I don't really want to go into detail about my skin condition, but I might put some information in the description box in case anybody else has the same condition and they, want to know if this is safe for them. Let's see, what else? So once I got back into the room, of course you have to undress because I'm getting my bikini area. You got to be bare down there. So they give you a sheet to kind of cover you. I left all my shirt and everything on because I wasn't getting laser in any of this upper body. So my shirt and everything was on. I just had to undress my lower half. So she gave me a sheet to cover me. They also give you wipes to kind of like clean yourself in the areas that they're going to laser. And then she also gave me goggles to put on. So there was like one pair of regular goggles, and then she had another pair of like super like thick dark eye covering. I wouldn't even call it a goggle, but it was an eye covering. So she used that one when she was lasering my face, and then the rest of the time I just wore the regular goggles. They were kind of like a green color. I guess that's just to make sure that your eyes are protected from the lasers, which is good because nobody wants to go blind. Let's see. Oh, and they also give you stress balls to squeeze, so in case you're like in pain or whatever, that way you can kind of relieve that stress. I was on my period when I went there. When I was doing my research, I saw some people saying that they don't recommend going on your period. I'm not 100% sure why they said that. I use a cup personally, so there's really no mess or anything like that. I would think that a tampon should also be fine, but I don't really know. Now, I guess if you have really bad periods where you get a lot of pain, then you probably don't want to subject yourself to more pain. But for me personally, it was fine, not an issue. So speaking of pain, the pain on my face, it wasn't too bad. It didn't hurt too much. I kind of felt like it felt very warm. Like it just felt like there was a heat coming against my face and against my face, but it didn't really hurt on my face. There were a couple of areas where there was kind of patches of hair. Oh, I forgot to mention, you are supposed to shave before your appointment, and you definitely want to make sure that you shave as well as you possibly can, because the more hair you leave on your skin, the worse it will hurt. So that was definitely something that I observed in both my face and my bikini area. The areas where there was still kind of patches of hair were areas that were very, very painful. But outside of that, it wasn't super painful. My face, like I said, just felt like heat flashes kind of coming on my face. My bikini area mainly felt like somebody was pulling out the hairs. Like, I guess kind of similar to maybe how waxing might feel, but like smaller areas at a time. So like if somebody was just plucking. Yeah, that's kind of how it felt like. So it wasn't that bad, but it's some pain. But if you're used to getting waxed or things like that, you're probably familiar with this level of pain. I don't think it would hurt any more than what, say, waxing hurts. Let's see. Another thing she said was that the pain is worse in areas where you have bone right beneath the skin. So like the front part, I forgot what it's called, but the front part where there's that pelvic bone right behind it, that was definitely more painful than like the bikini line, and the labia. The labia didn't really hurt too bad. It was only because I didn't shave too carefully in there, so there were patches. That was the only reason why that part kind of hurt. But yeah, not too bad. So overall, the pain wasn't too bad. I didn't really feel the need to take pain relievers or anything like that afterwards. She did apply aloe vera gel before I left, so that probably helped, but not bad. So in terms of restrictions, you are supposed to avoid extreme heat for at least 24 hours after. So you're not supposed to do hot yoga. You're not supposed to take super hot showers. You're not supposed to go to a sauna or anything like that. You are also supposed to avoid sunlight for the next couple weeks afterwards, just to protect your skin. You're not supposed to nair, pluck, or wax the entire time you're going through treatment. And the way that it was kind of explained to me is that I guess only 10% of your follicles are supposed to be active at a time. And so that's kind of why you have to do so many sessions, because if only 10% are active at a time, it's going to take about 10 sessions to get all of the hair. But if you nair or pluck or wax, then you're kind of pulling out that hair. And so I guess the laser can't kill those hairs because you plucked them out. So if you want to remove hair in between sessions, you are supposed to shave. You're not supposed to nair or pluck or wax. Let's see. As I mentioned before, you are supposed to shave within 24 hours of the treatment. I shaved the night before. My appointment was in the morning, so that's what I did. And you're not supposed to use any retinoids or anything of that nature for at least a couple weeks beforehand and maybe like a week after. But if your skin isn't irritated, I think you can use them sooner. But I mean, going a couple weeks without retinoids is probably not the end of the world. So in terms of results, the hair just kind of falls out by itself. What she told me is that it's supposed to fall out from 1 to 3 weeks after your treatment. So it's been about 2 weeks since my treatment, and I've definitely noticed the hairs falling out, especially in my bikini area. Like, they really are falling out. My face, I haven't noticed as much of hair falling out, but it's only been 2 weeks. Maybe those will just take longer. Or, she did say it was a lower setting, so maybe that's also part of the reason. Let's see. And so after that kind of 1 to 3 week period, you are supposed to be hair free for a couple weeks after that. But then after that is when the next set of hairs is going to kind of start coming in. And so that's when it's kind of almost time to go back in for your next appointment. And what she said was after like 5 or so sessions is when you're really supposed to notice a significant reduction in the amount of hair that you have. You may notice results earlier than that, but at that point is when you're really supposed to notice like a huge difference. So I'll probably do a follow-up video in about 6 months. So in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Increase a level and you get better results like that. And my cat is yelling.